So here's the latest addition to my at-home studio setup for content creation, teaching, and just, general work from home stuff. It's basically a teleprompter that I've connected to my iPad, which is connected to my desktop. So you can see over here, right now, I am recording on my phone. I have that ported to my desktop through Windows Live. And then I have my laptop, I have my tablet also connected as an additional monitor to my PC. So from here, I can see what I'm recording. While I'm recording, I can see myself, so that when I'm talking to students that I'm coaching, I can look them directly in the eye. I can see their responses when I'm in a Zoom call or in a Zoom room. I can see everyone, and it's kind of overlaid under the screen that is coming in from my PC. So if I need to read notes or teaching or talking points, I could also port that on here as well, so that I can read like I would for a regular teleprompter, or I could use it for video where I'm recording myself. If I'm doing a makeup video, instead of trying to constantly check to see if I'm in frame, I just put that video here and then I can see what I'm doing with my face. Best thing ever. I'm so excited about it because one of the biggest challenges is, when you're recording content, trying to make sure that you're in the frame because you can't see yourself. When you're taking pictures, again, same thing, trying to see what your photo will look like before you snap off a bunch. You end up taking hundreds and then pulling one or two actual good ones. This way it saves so much time. The teleprompter feature is great because, especially when I'm doing content that needs to be very short and succinct, it's easier for me as a writer to write my script and then just read through it so that I'm rambling a lot less. And for those of you who know me, if you've ever been on my live, the rambling is real. So this is a really cool addition to my setup. I'm super excited about it. I love things that are multifunctional, that I could do a lot of different things with. And this is a system that I'm really excited to just be adding to my desktop. Now, just to kind of walk you through, the rig itself is just this piece right here. I have that mounted onto this tripod. This is actually a floor tripod, but I wanted to make sure that it worked with my system before I went out and bought additional desk mounted rigs and stands and all of that stuff. So I just used a tripod that I had to kind of see how I can configure it and kind of play around with how I want it to work. I have decided that I do actually want it. Give you an overall view of my desk. This is my workspace. I did decide that I actually do want it on the left-hand side of my desk, so I can kind of switch back and forth between my main monitor and this screen. If I'm in a Zoom call, I put the Zoom window here. If I'm doing a training where I'm teaching, I put my transcript here and then the Zoom window here, so I can see the audience here, but I can look directly at them. They'll feel like I'm looking directly at them as I go through my course content and my notes. So my notes would be up here and I would constantly see it here. So this is sort of how it will be. Right now I'm losing a little bit of desk space, but I think that once I kind of wanted to just make sure that this would be a good place for it. I was originally considering putting it on the right side of my desk, but I do have my CPU on this side, and I kind of like having that like CPU workstation sort of look. And so this is now the vibe. CPU, monitor, and then video screen over here, which is great because I basically stand where you are when I'm giving a talk and I can see the full range here. I kind of do like that this is on its own tripod because I can move it a little further this way if I want to. If I want to have my backdrops behind me, my backdrops are actually on that side of the room. If I want to have my backdrops behind me, I can just take the whole rig, drop this leg to the ground and move it over there. I get a longer runway for outfit shots, and I can finally again see what I look like in the entire video instead of fighting with looking at a different screen, or trying to see my entire body on the tiny little screen that is attached to the camera. So I found over the last few years, when I'm doing content like outfit photos, I tend to be, well, not so much photos, but videos, I tend to be looking to the right so I can see myself in the screen. Otherwise, I'm constantly trying to remind myself to look at the camera. And if I'm looking at the camera, I can't see myself, which means that things are out of focus, out of frame, the coloring's off, all kinds of things go wrong. So this allows me to monitor what's happening on my device through the system here, wherever I want to go. It is a bit of a heavy rig, but definitely not for mobility or portability, but it's great for just sort of setting up on my desk. And you can use it with any device. So behind I have my mirror image DSLR camera. It has this mount so I could lift the height. I've got some wires and cables here for my microphone when I'm wired up. Cable to port to my CPU. This is the cable that goes to my computer. So this is the width of the rig. You have this area here in the front that you can adjust. So you can put you can put a cell phone, or you can make it bigger to put your tablet. This moves back and forth. So if you have a bigger camera, one of those like really unnecessarily huge video cameras, you can put that in here. And it has a little smock, I call it. So you push your camera in, and I'll kind of open the smock so you can see the camera behind. So the camera is in here behind the glass. So when you put your device here, you pull out this section here, you add your device, so your notes or whatever can be here. So this basically becomes an external monitor to my CPU monitor. I basically just have them side by side, but the monitor isn't actually this here. This is just a reflection on the glass. The monitor is actually my tablet. The app that I use allows me to mirror the image so that when it's reflected in the mirror, I can actually read the words on here. So I can be looking at the camera, which is inside here, but I can still see my notes behind. So I don't know. I think that's kind of, I think it's really cool, and I'm excited to be adding it to my setup. You know, one of my biggest challenges is I want to be able to just jump on a live, record, talk to you guys without having to pull out the lights and the rings and the tripod. Oh, that's the other thing here. I have my ring light back here. So I just drop my monitor down, give my ring light some breathing room. That gives me some brightness this way. And then when I'm not using it, I just put my monitor back up. So everything can sort of just live here in my workstation. So there you have it. I'll be sure to drop links to all the devices that I use so that you can grab any of this stuff for yourself. And if you have any questions about creating your own setup, feel free to let me know. Bye.